Hello everyone, my name is Feed Alligators and welcome to another video, and today I will be talking about Battlefield 6 versus Call of Duty 2021, what the leakers have shown us, which one I'm more hyped for, and which one I think will do better. But before we jump into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies content, along with more general content about, well, Battlefield 6, COD 2021, Modern Warfare, and just general things. Now, I want everyone to know this video is almost completely subjective. I know not a ton of information has been given out on both games, except for various leaks. Things on how the projects are both doing, trailer dates, kind of, because Battlefield 6 was kind of supposed to have a trailer by now, but it hasn't been out yet. COD 2021 really hasn't had much at all, besides for the premise of the game, and also a couple leaks around the game. But we will go over all of that and see which one I'm more hyped for. Now, the biggest question on everyone's mind for both of these games, which one is going to be more finished? And in my opinion, and I think everyone else's opinion, I think that Battlefield 6 is going to be a lot more finished and less rushed than COD 2021, just because of the developmental cycle. Now, Battlefield 6 probably has been in development since 2018, or even earlier, since Battlefield 5 came out in 2018. And just like what they do for Call of Duty, where they have a 3-year developmental cycle, I'm sure they were working on it well before Battlefield 5 was even announced. But COD 2021 really hasn't been going that well. According to a lot of leakers, it actually probably isn't even going to launch, or the beta isn't even going to launch with a up-and-running multiplayer. It probably will only just be a campaign drop sort of thing, and then multiplayer later. But, like, opposite of what they did for Cold War, where it was all zombies and multiplayer and then campaign later. And also, generally, EA kind of has more of a grasp on finishing their, well, not really finishing their games, but in terms of Battlefield, they normally are more, like, good at keeping up with the schedule and also making sure that games are finished and in a actually working state. Now, there is something to be said about the fact that even though COD 2021 has been in the development cycle for 3 years, they didn't have to work with around 2 years of a pandemic and not working really in person and more online, which also makes it so that it's harder to work. And also, I believe they switched developers midway through, similar to what they did with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and we saw how well that worked with Black Ops Cold War since the game launched in a poor state with not a lot of content. And considering the fact that Black Ops Cold War launched in 2020 before, or not really before, but only a year into the pandemic, and now we are around 2 years technically, or a full year into the pandemic, it's going to be a lot more challenging for them to pull this off, especially because the biggest leak about not having a running multiplayer was by a very good source who normally is accurate on stuff. They gave out stuff for Black Ops Cold War and other things, but I'm sure, just like what they did with Black Ops Cold War, where the game was in a terrible state, they probably will drive up the amount of hype for it by releasing a lot of trailers and doing those little Easter egg hunts they had in the other games, where in Warzone there were certain things, and they had content creators around doing egg hunts and scavenger hunts with things they gave out. Personally, I think it worked to create hype, but it kind of was not really the best, because let's be honest, if the content creators didn't finish the thing by the end of the day, it's not like they're going to hold off on dropping the trailer just because they didn't finish it, because they still want to get the game out and make a lot of money. And in terms of hype, Battlefield 6 just has a much better audience, and just because of the way Battlefield 5 was, don't get me wrong, in terms of Battlefield games, Battlefield 5 was very unpopular with people, so a lot of people, even since 2018 when it launched, were kind of looking forward to the next game, since Battlefield 5 to them was kind of a dud because of the mechanics. I will admit, I do hate the regenerating health system, where it goes up slightly and you have like med packs and various things like that, because it made the medic class really overpowered and some of the classes were just not organized. I think they should go back to how Battlefield 4 was, where it's like the pick-a-class system in Call of Duty, except you can be like a medic, or you can have a lot of ammo, like an unlimited ammo supply or assault with a lot of explosives, but I hope they mix it up. And I think it's really good to highlight how all three of the last Battlefield games have done something different. Battlefield 5 had various class systems, not fully regenerating health without a med pack, customizable guns to an extent, and other things like that. Battlefield 1 did not really have any customization with the guns, but there were a lot of variants of the guns. There were classes, but the classes were set up differently based off the guns you chose, such as Assault class being shotguns, and Medic class being, I believe it was semi-auto rifles, but I'm not entirely sure. And Battlefield 4 having the pick-a-class system like Call of Duty does. And in my opinion, COD 2021 just cannot live up to the hype that the other games did, especially because they haven't had anything about it, considering the fact that before Black Ops Cold War was released, everyone knew it was going to be in the 80s and have to do in the Black Ops universe. And with Modern Warfare, a ton of people knew before anything was announced that it was going to be Modern Warfare, but they didn't know what. So, as of right now, there's not really a lot of hype surrounding it, especially because of the fact that the developer, Sledgehammer Games, last game, really did not do the best in terms of fans. I guess COD World War II was an alright game. It did have a lot of microtransactions, but a lot of people seemed to like it when it launched because it launched in a fairly good state and had a pretty steady player base, but then dropped off over time due to the fact that they're releasing one every year. And it's going to be a lot different now because I can tell you for a fact if the game does not launch in a very good state, it's going to be a similar situation to what happened with Black Ops Cold War, where a ton of people rush to buy it, play it, and then leave again for Modern Warfare just because it's a better game with more content. And if they integrate it with Warzone, it's going to make that even more prevalent because now you have a game that's extremely similar to Modern Warfare, running on the same engine and everything like that, except one of those games doesn't have as much content, is worse, and generally, like, not a lot of stuff in it, especially because we don't even know if this game is going to have zombies or not in it, considering Cold War, obviously, being Black Ops, has zombies in it, but we don't know if this is going to have Spec Ops or some special mode, or zombies like how they did in World War II. And with that, we will conclude the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and comment anything down below, such as what you thought of this video or future video ideas. I'm personally more hyped for Battlefield 6, but let me know which one you think is going to do better and which one you're more hyped for. And as always, I will see you all next time.